Hello, and welcome to Shay's Sanctuary, a peaceful space that inspires personal evolution. By participating in this class today, you acknowledge that you have reviewed the class disclaimer at shaystarrett.com/disclaimer, and you are participating in this class at your own risk. Thank you so much for being here. And today I'm going to be guiding you through a therapeutic yoga practice designed around the theme of discernment. Discernment is our ability to see clearly and make wise choices by accessing the right wisdom and right knowledge. We make choices every day, nearly 35,000 of them, which are somewhat conscious. But the brain's designed to file through information quickly, to make most choices as quickly as possible. And we tend to default to thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, past experiences, and often end up staying in places that are safe, predictable, maybe even places that help us feel like we have more control. Discernment asks us that we look beyond our experience and knowledge to what information and knowledge is actually informing our choice. And maybe with that awareness, we realize we might be holding ourselves back from something more, something better, or maybe holding ourselves back from minimizing our suffering in the world. It takes a lot of courage, trust, and sometimes most of all inaction, that sacred pause, when we're facing a choice, to ensure that we are tuning into the right information, to discern what is truly right for us. This is especially true if we are feeling stagnant, like we fall into the same habits, like we are on autopilot, like we want something more and something different, but we can often get in our own way because we continue to make the same choices. So not only do we have to look at what choices we're making, how we're making those choices, and what information we're using to make those choices, but we can also start to develop self-awareness and self-acceptance and the power and courage and intuition to choose with more discernment, a refined perspective of being. And it's very powerful. Again, especially if we want to make change in our life.
And throughout this practice, I'm going to offer a few opportunities for you to kind of embody discernment. If discernment is coming after choice, you'll have some opportunities maybe to have too many choices. And then how do you choose? What information do you tune into? And maybe have some opportunities where you have no choice at all for me, and you have to tune into yourself and know what's right for you. So I want to invite you to come up to a standing position as we begin the practice. And just notice how you come to standing, the movements you make, the way you set up your space. Notice if there's anything missing that you want to have in your space. And maybe even go beneath that choice. Why do I need that thing? Why is it important to me? How is it going to support me in my practice today? And as you arrive here, just notice your body here and standing, and start to move your upper body. Maybe before you start moving, you just tune into your body. What does your body want? Where does that information come from? Is there a sensation that informs your choice? Yeah, move that upper body around. And then see if you can start to bring the hips into this. Move the hips and the torso with the upper body. And breathe in and breathe out. And then how could you bring your lower body into this? And as you move, notice your body.
So take a moment to pause here Notice what comes up as you think about
What's happening
discernment
now?
in your life. Let's take a few breaths here.
How are you discerning the right choice for you as you warm up your body? And start to take this movement maybe up and down if you're not already doing that. And if you're already moving up and down, maybe you start to move side to side. And breathe in and breathe out. And then over the next breath or two, start to bring yourself back to standing if you're not already there. And step your feet together. And we're going to take a big step back with our right foot, and our left foot is going to be in front of us. And you can just have your arms down by your side. And you're going to start to bend into that front knee. And I want you to explore the edge here. Notice how when you bend the knee, where that sensation first begins to change. And maybe that's what we would call just a soft edge, just a subtle change. And then maybe you start to bend the knee even more, and maybe you go to that place that feels like a hard edge, like it would be hard to sustain this. And maybe you move up and down between those two sensations. And tune into the body. Notice the choices you make along the way. And tune into your wise self. Where is the spot between these movements where the wise self says, yes, we can pause here and take some deep breaths? The edge where it's not too much and not too little. And as you find that pause, what do you want to do with your arms? Do you want to keep the arms where they are? Is there another variation? And how do you know this is the right choice? Be here. Be aware of breath and body. And how are you accepting yourself right now in this shape and these choices you've made? And then start to let this go and be with that journey back to neutral, stepping the feet together again. And notice now. And then start to bring this shape over to the other side. And even though right and left side are both connected to the same body, how can you make this experience its own as you move to the other side? Maybe you explore something that would feel like a wrong choice, the thing that's opposite of what you naturally gravitate towards. Just to notice what that feels like in the body, this wrong choice. And then tune in to what feels like a right choice. And how do you know? What does your wise self tell you? And find that place where you can pause. Be it an edge that doesn't feel like too much or too little, but just right. Know that if it ever feels like too much or if pain arises, you can always come out at any time. Inhale and exhale. And notice how you want to come out of this shape to bring yourself back up to standing. What kind of movements do you make along the way? And find yourself back here at neutral. And what does neutral feel like in your body? Letting go of what came, not sure what's going to come next. Just being here, suspended in between the two. And step your feet a little bit closer together and reach your arms out in front of you and start to move your wrists around. Feel your wrists moving, open and close your palms. Just feel all these different movements in your hands and fingers and wrists. And you're going to start to reach your hands behind you into your lower back. And you can either make two fists or you can press the palm of your hand into your lower back. And as those hands connect with your lower back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And each time you inhale, imagine your spine and torso getting longer, lifting the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Just notice this getting longer, this deep breath in the body. And then start to find a back bend, but just stop where that sensation changes. Just that first subtle change in sensation. And notice where that is in the body. And then with each inhale and exhale, allow your body to receive this shape. Instead of being the doer, be the receiver. Maybe noticing what it's like to trust your body to bring you into this shape. If you notice sensation in the back side of the body, maybe breathe into the front of the body, the pelvis, the belly, the chest. If there's any desire to change or fix, see if you can just notice that, but not respond to it. Just be with yourself here, embracing all that's happening exactly as it is. And last exhale over the next breath or two, bringing yourself down towards the floor, finding a forward fold, and be with that journey down towards the floor. Notice how you move, how you transition. Tune into the wise self. Here in this forward fold, just taking a few breaths. What's happening now? And then over the next couple of breaths, slowly bring yourself back up into standing. Imagine your body's moving through honey. If there's a desire to move quickly, maybe you move slow. And as you come back up to standing, be with your body as you journey. Allow what's here to be known. Make room for it all. Back in this standing posture, feel your feet firmly pressing into the floor. And we're going to start to lift just the right heel up off the floor. Just lift and lower that right heel. Feel what it's like to start to let go of that surface beneath you. And then start to move that right leg in such a way that you can balance just on your left leg. What would that look like to just balance on one leg? Notice how edge may be showing up for you in this shape. Breathe in and breathe out. And begin to let this side go. Come back to neutral and notice now. And as we move into this shape on the other side, is there anything that you would like to support this shape so that you could hold it for a little bit longer? Maybe a chair or the wall. And begin to lift again, just that left heel up off the ground. Just lifting and lowering. And notice how the left side of the body wants to be in this shape. Maybe finding a balanced posture with the support so that you can even close your eyes in this shape and really drop in. Notice what you're aware of. Notice awareness of trust to just be in this shape and close the eyes and let go of that external world. Really drop into you, to your body. Notice any part of yourself that's not able to accept. Breathe in and breathe out. And then bring that left foot down to the floor. Notice now. And bring one or both hands to your body. Notice your body here. See if you can tune into that wise self. And as I invite you to bring yourself down onto the floor on your back, see if you can let the wise self guide you there. And as you take your next couple of breaths, bring yourself down onto the floor. And as you come down to the floor, begin to hug your knees into your chest. And let this be an embrace of you, of your body, of your being. And if there's any resistance to that, notice that too. Can you let this be an embrace? What is your wise self telling you? What are you aware of? And if you're anywhere other than in your body, notice that too. If any thoughts or emotions arise, just notice those. See if you can let them float by like a cloud. Come back to the body. And start to release your arms down by your side, but keep your knees stacked over your hips. And tune into the body. If you were to drop the knees down to one side, which side would you go to first? How do you make that choice for yourself? Where does the information come from in your body? And then begin to move into that shape, allowing the knees to come down to one side. Let your body be a guide. And as those knees come down, maybe you land right in the shape that you want to be in. Maybe you need to make some other choices, move the body around, those little micro adjustments. Really discerning through connection to the body where it feels right to land. And pause. And take some deep breaths. Really drop into you and your body. And if there's a desire to do anything else, just notice that too.
And what's happening now? Making room for whatever might be arising. Being aware of sensations, being aware of any thoughts, emotions that arise. Just looking at them from that place of wise self. Just be here now. Notice and embrace now. And allowing your body to stay exactly the way it is, begin to tune in again to the wise self. What kind of choices and decisions would you make to bring yourself into this shape on the other side? And then begin to move there, letting go of any destination and being with the journey, that moment to moment, breath to breath experience. And allow your body to receive the shape on the other side, maybe as if it's the first time you've ever felt it in your body. Maybe you'd like to do something different with your arms. Maybe you want to do something different with your legs. Notice if you're choosing something because it feels familiar, but maybe there's another way that you want to be with this shape that isn't familiar. Just an opportunity to explore something different that might feel right. Be with your body here. Notice how you're connecting with that wise self, that right knowledge, to discern what's right for you. You need no guidance or instruction from me. You've got that wisdom within you to guide you. If the mind wanders, just take a breath and come back. Be here now. Allow what is here to be known. Notice and embrace your experience exactly as it is. And then over the next couple of breaths, begin to let this shape go. Roll back onto your spine and bend your knees so the soles of your feet are pressing into the floor. And again, bring one or both hands to the body. Take some breaths here that feel deep to you. Notice how you're being with your body here in this moment. As I offer you an invitation to move into our meditation, which could be longer, tune into the wise self and notice what kind of shape would support you for a meditation. Do you make a choice based on what meditation should look like? Or do you make a choice based on what would feel right for your body today, right now? And over the next couple of breaths, make that choice from that place of wise self, from connection to body, and begin to move into a posture to support your meditation. Using any props, the floor, the wall, a chair, blankets, pillows, bolsters. Choose and then maybe choose again. And find that place where you can really drop in. As you breathe in and breathe out, notice your body now. Where are you holding on to effort and tension and maybe even control? And can you let go and surrender? What's it like to let go and surrender and allow yourself to be supported by the floor, the space, the building, the sangha, the earth? Just imagine it holding you in a tender embrace. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to go except be right here. If there's a desire to be anywhere else, notice that too. If the mind begins to wander or pull you into a story, just notice that. See if you can begin to let those thoughts just float away like a cloud. Every breath, a choice to come back to body, to come back to now. Mm. Letting your breath and body be an anchor back to the moment. Each inhale and exhale inviting you to drop in even more. And as stillness and silence surrounds you, notice how you respond to it. And stay connected to breath and body. Every breath a meditation. Breath in and breath out. And breathe in and breathe out. Remember, if the mind wanders, just take a breath and come back. Breathe in and breathe out. If the mind wanders, just use the breath to come back to the body. Staying connected to those deep inhales and exhales as they flow through you. Just be here now. exhale. Just noticing if you're anywhere else but your body at this moment. Just take a breath and come back. Feeling those deep inhales and exhales flow through your body and anchor you to this moment. And as you pause here, breathing in those deep inhales and exhales, feeling your body in contact with the floor beneath you, begin to come out of the present moment for a few breaths. Go back in time. Go back through this session and your experience with the theme of discernment. What is standing out to you? What feels relevant or important? Take a few breaths with that question. And today, maybe the question is enough, or maybe an answer arises right away. Know that your experience is exactly right for you. And breathe in and breathe out. And then begin to shift your gaze to the future, to your next right action. Notice how this information might be informing you in your life, how it might be informing right knowledge, right wisdom, and the next right choice. And just breathe into that question. And again, just know that sometimes the question is enough. Maybe an answer arises right away. And continue to breathe in and breathe out. And then as you take your next breath, come back to body in contact with the floor beneath you, the space around you. And let your breath become even deeper, imagining that breath moving down through fingers and toes, out the top of your head. And begin to move your body in a way that slowly and mindfully brings it back to attention, to a fuller awareness. Maybe starting with some smaller movements and then shifting into some bigger movements. Notice the choices you make along the way. Notice what feels right And where do you tune into that information in the body to know? As you breathe in and breathe out, starting to make your way over onto your right side, drawing the knees a little closer to the chest and belly. Just pausing here, taking a few breaths as you go beyond physical body, beyond mental body. Breathe into that deep part of you, that wise self, that bliss body, that inner sanctuary, that place of divine wisdom, that place that we can go to anytime by closing our eyes, taking a long pause, a deep breath, being in a sacred place of stillness to tune in. Know that that's a sanctuary that you carry with you everywhere you go. And continue to breathe in and breathe out with this part of you. And then over the next couple of breaths, bring yourself back up into a seated position, again, moving mindfully and gently. How can you take care of yourself through the journey back up to seated? And as you arrive back in a seated position, feeling those sit bones pressing into the floor, allow your hands to rest comfortably on your lap or against your legs. And notice your body here. Maybe you'd like to bring one or both hands in contact with the body in some way, or connect the palms at heart center. And keeping the eyes closed or with a soft gaze, tuck the chin into the chest and bow down to yourself here. Give thanks to your body for the ways it supported you in your practice today, for the wisdom that lives within the body to support you in your life. And give thanks to yourself for this time that you dedicated to your health, your wellness, for taking care of all the layers of your being, and tuning in and dropping into the deeper parts of you. Take a few breaths of gratitude, of connection. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Closing this practice, may the universe guide you, may Mother Earth support you, and may you honor and cherish the divine light within you and within all beings. Thank you for being here for this practice today. I wish you well wherever you are in the world. If you'd like to learn about me and the services I offer as a yoga therapist, yoga and meditation teacher, and retreat leader, please reach out to me at www.shae.us. Thank you.